Oh
Hi,
boy.
hi everyone. My name is Callie Goode, and this is the Differently in Motion podcast. I'm joined today by my wonderful friend Ryan Wilson, who is a videographer, photographer, and entrepreneur. Hi, Ryan. Nice to have you on the podcast.
Hi, Callie. It is nice to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Oh, of course. How are you?
I'm doing all right, enjoying the nice weather here in Colorado Springs. Pretty big transition from Illinois, where I was at about a month ago. So I have no complaints at this fine moment.
Well, that's kind of like how it is here in Southwest Colorado. It's unseasonably warm and sunny, which scares me for the snowpack problem, but hopefully we'll get some snow in the coming months.
I'm sure we will get the snow. It's just around the corner.
Yeah. So Ryan, tell everyone and myself a little bit about your disability and just anything that you want to share about your life.
Yeah, so I have what's called osteogenesis imperfecta, kind of a long term, but you can just call it OI. Basically, that means I can break bones easier than maybe you, Callie, or somebody else. So I've broken around 50, 60 bones, had, I don't even know, 7 or 8 surgeries. I mean, it's nothing too scary for me. I guess you get used to it after a while. But no, I've just kind of used my experiences with OI, my disability, as a springboard to other opportunities. So connecting with you, Callie, being on this podcast and talking with your listeners, your viewers, and then just kind of creating my own business. So it's been a fun run, and I don't think I would take anything back. I have no regrets. So yeah.
Well, I always like to say that God makes us exactly how we're supposed to be and gives us the skills and talents that we're exactly supposed to have to make this world a better place.
Exactly. I like it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurship and your photography, videography, how you handle all of that with your challenges.
Yeah, so I have a business. It's called Team Trust Productions. We produce films and media content for businesses, nonprofits, and government agencies all across the country. And we also advise on ADA design and services. So with many different productions going on at once, I wish I could be at every one, but I cannot. But I'm grateful to have a lot of very supportive team members helping us with filming and editing and even photography when it's requested. So we have a pretty solid team. Well, we started up technically uh, January 5th of last year, so almost a year ago at this day, and it's been fun. A lot of learning every day. I'm learning something new about how to maximize our efforts and reach and impact. Um, and I don't really let my disability be a challenge for me. I don't perceive it as a challenge. Um, I don't know, like for me, like, well, I use a wheelchair. Like, okay, well, that's just how I get around. So that's kind of how I go about things. And if I can't access a certain location or a shoot, then I'll find alternative methods to getting the job done. So for example, a couple years ago, I was in Winter Park, Colorado, filming skiers, and there was no way I was getting my wheelchair on the top of the ski slope. So we had one of our assistants stay on the top of the mountain and help out with camera work. So it's just a matter of coordination, planning, and troubleshooting as I go.
That's amazing. You're so inspiring, even to someone like me, because yeah, I haven't navigated the world outside of what I do here online, a lot in my life. So any kind of person that travels and does as many things as you do in a more organic space, if you will, is always inspiring to me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I get a lot of my motivation from the disability community, just realizing how much work needs to be done. And so that's what keeps me up late at night sometimes, Callie. Not you, but the community as a whole.
Yeah, well, I can totally understand because as we were just talking about off camera, it's something that you and I are definitely redefining the box of disability. So I appreciate you standing shoulder to shoulder with me in that effort.
Yeah, of course. We're all in this together.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about um like when I was browsing your website, I saw your store and all the other things that you're doing with adaptive sports and things of that nature.
Yeah, yeah. So, for me, adaptive sports are very personal. I'm a big sports guy. When I was younger, I would watch Shaquille O'Neal on TV, and I'd be like, man, I want to be like him. I want to be 7'2", competing alongside him, and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. And then it eventually hit me that if I did, in fact, compete alongside Shaq and LeBron, I would not last long because, for one, they're a lot stronger than I am, they're faster, and Shaq is unquestionably bigger than I am, and so is LeBron. So, I kind of let that interest in competing in sport set to the side. But when I became more familiar with adaptive sports, so like wheelchair racing, basketball, adaptive skiing, you name it. It kind of re-energized my interest in being around sports, particularly sports for individuals with disabilities. And so Team Trust kind of came out of that idea. How can we highlight these sports, but also share really fun stories, and meet a lot of cool people. So last September to November, we run a 9-city adaptive mountain bike tour across the Southeast. So we were in Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, and I think that's about it. I don't know, there was a lot going on. But it was an adaptive mountain bike tour. So we went to 9 different cities. At each city, we introduced individuals with disabilities to adaptive mountain biking. So I've never ridden an adaptive mountain bike, but for people who are in kind of the same boat as I am, this was an opportunity to hop in a bike that's built for you, can go about 5 times as fast as my power chair, and it's just really fun. It is quite the amazing opportunity for anybody, and so it was very meaningful to be with Catalyst Sports, the organization putting this on throughout their journey. So it was a lot of fun, and we have all sorts of other adaptive sport related projects in the works. We filmed USA Bocce National Championships last November. So all sorts of fun things, Callie.
That's amazing. I've never done any sort of adaptive sports at all. So that sounds incredible. What an
I'll
incredible,
have to try it out.
yeah, what an incredible journey you and your team went on. And I can't imagine, well, I can only imagine the kind of freedom that you gave those people in those cities, with the adaptive mountain bike. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was a really good opportunity for them. Now these bikes cost around 10 grand a piece, so they're not accessible to everybody financially speaking. But when you get to hop in it, take it for a spin, you really get a new perspective on nature and a new kind of freedom, I guess. And so it's kind of funny. In our last stop, as we always did, we asked the riders what they thought, and we asked one guy, older guy, like, so how does this compare with your manual wheelchair? And he laughed and he's like, it's so much faster, and I'm gonna buy one of these. So it was a lot of fun. I'm very honored that we were a part of this experience for the writers and Catalyst Sports, and hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, I know that there's some people that do adaptive race car driving, which I think is also really cool. And I didn't know much about it until I collaborated with someone in closer to your area about that whole thing, but I didn't really realize how big the adaptive community actually was when it came to different kinds of sports. So
Yeah, there are all sorts of sports out there for people who are in wheelchairs, people who have visual impairments, people who are deaf, you name it. It's really astonishing to see the types of accommodations we can offer people, and it creates a good platform for people like you, Callie, to try out just about any sports.
That's something that I definitely want to tackle in the future, if you will. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about more about Team Trust and the shop that you were telling me about, because I know in a previous conversation you were telling me that opportunity is expanding.
Yeah, so on our website, we have an e-commerce platform. We, of course, sell Team Trust things. You can buy a Team Trust shirt if you want, and you should. You can buy a notepad with Team Trust on it, stickers, or whatever. But we've been expanding our store to become more inclusive, and we wanted to not only offer Team Trust products, but also create this space that uh, holds all sorts of products and items that would be of interest and value to our audiences. So, of course, the Team Trust shirt is nice, I think selfishly. But at the end of the day, like, maybe you want, I don't know, a sock that is adapted to your needs, um, and other modified clothing, so shoes. So we've been linking up kind of behind the scenes with various companies to collaborate with our e-commerce store, and kind of putting our heads together thinking, okay, how can we create this space that serves the disability community and is mutually beneficial for both companies, all parties involved. So it's super exciting. I can't say I've ever run in an e-commerce store before, but you pick up a lot when you interact with people who have done it for 10, 20, 30 years. So it's quite cool. So that's one thing we have in the works right now. We've been adding a lot of clothing. A lot more has to go online. But yeah, kind of where things stand with an e-commerce setup.
That's awesome. Actually, that's something I would like to get involved in, and I actually know a couple of people that I should connect you with to
Yeah, bring it on.
help you expand that. So, it's funny how our networks always the people that I interview, our networks always sort of overlap and make it a mutually beneficial situation for everybody, which I love.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
So,
always like to meet new people and establish more relationships.
yeah, yeah. So, tell us about your goals for 2022. Obviously you're very goal centric and everything, but I'm just curious where you're going, either personally or professionally this year.
Uh, well, at the beginning of the year on January 1st, I wrote down a list that I can't find. So that's helpful. But we're looking at a lot of things with Team Trust right now. We're speaking with a lot of different businesses. So one, I don't know, thing would be nice is to, I don't know, why not take a vacation? And we've been looking at a potential vacation spot in Hawaii. So we would couple that with an adaptive surfing clinic. So why not watch some surfing and chill on the beach at the same time? That's top of mind right now. We also have in the works a web series, kind of like this one. But we are interviewing primarily athletes with disabilities, and these athletes are the best in the world or close to it. And we have assembled multiple teams for that, expanded our staff, and we have really exciting people helping us out. So interestingly, right before we started talking, Callie, I got word that we were going to pitch that program to hopefully CBS and NBC. Fingers crossed. But the goal of the program is to talk about disability related things, have some fun, and really learn a lot about each other and ourselves. So that's really cool. We've been kind of plowing away at that, and by the end of the year, I would like for us to have that um, going on a consistent basis in a way that reaches a lot of people. And we did establish a distribution agreement with one national nonprofit, so that helps. But yeah, that's kind of what we have going on right now. On the vacation by the end of the year would be nice. Good program. And what else did I put on that list? I don't even know. So it seems I'm either going to miss my goals or make them. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of what I have going on right now with that.
That's great. No, I think you're incredible, and you'll just have to make a new list. So,
I guess so.
well,
Oh, wait, I
I
think I
I don't
found it.
I don't know. I've had all these things that I have going on right now in the works for the last year, because like I had to do a lot of research about how to do all this and get people implemented. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I'm here and I'm doing the thing and I'm showing up. So um,
Yeah,
I know I just have to be consistent with everything. So
sure.
yeah,
Consistent execution is key.
exactly.
Easier said than done sometimes, but very
Yes.
important.
But we have to, we have to be willing to walk on glass for our goals. So um,
I guess.
even
Yes, you're right.
even if our feet don't touch the floor, right?
Yes, I will gently crush a glass below my tires, but
Yeah,
my feet will be okay.
exactly. Yeah, because I don't know about your feet, but my feet are always very tender anyway. So
Sure,
yeah.
that's okay. No,
Well, so I think so great to connect with you. Anything else that you would like to talk about?
oh, I don't know, Callie. I've really enjoyed our conversation. It's been fun to brag about Team Trust. Um, yeah, no, I'm very grateful we connected. I'm excited to see what else you have in the works from your multiple projects we've talked about. But I don't know. I think you're on a good path moving forward. So I think that's about all I have left to say.
Well, yeah, I'm so excited we got to connect, and I'm actually very excited that you're in Colorado because I want to put you on to a few things that I thought about during this conversation. So we'll definitely talk about that in the coming days and or coming days and weeks to come. And I'm just excited to get you on board with some things because I think Colorado could truly use you and your team, especially in the more urban parts. So,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We're doing all that we can.
all right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Um, all of Ryan's links will be in the description box below, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.